in a second. Look here.
What are we doing? What is this?
Just look.
Boing. I'm sorry, what? Jump and shoot the ground, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not real. That's actually fun.
Hey everyone, Thordan Smash here, and today we're going to be talking about, well, the next collection event that is dropping on Tuesday, and with it, there are going to be a lot of buffs and nerfs, but not all of them are very good or make even a lot of sense, and the game is changing in a pretty big way, and it shows that the future of the game is going to be a lot different than, you know, the game we grew up playing the last 5 years. But we're also going to go ahead and give out one of those Lifeline Prestige skins. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe, and you're entered for a chance to win. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So Apex Legends is going in a pretty interesting direction when it comes to the future of buffs and nerfs. Now, there was some really good stuff that is in the patch notes for this upcoming update. For instance, I'm actually pretty happy that the G7 is getting a damage increase from 32 to 33. They've also increased the rate of fire and adjusted the recoil because the devs felt that the G7 was a little underwhelming and the data backs that up. That was actually a pretty good choice. There were some questionable ones though, such as the Havoc rifle actually not getting that much of a nerf. They actually changed the mag size, basically lowering everything by 4. Which does mean you do need to hit more of your shots, but the thing is, the thing has almost no recoil and absolutely beams people, especially with the amount of damage they do. We're probably not going to see a true nerf to this until the reactive skin comes out for it. We've seen images of it like here, along with a blue one, and you know, Respawn is trying to push the exotic shop, so we're probably going to have to wait until we see that come in before we finally get the Havoc nerfed once and for all. Along with that, there were some good changes with the longbow getting a damage increase to 225 over 215. R99, they made the hip fire less random, you know, because the devs realized they nerfed it way too much, and it is true, the R99 is a shadow of what it formerly was. Along with that, the Rampage got some changes along with rarity sets for other weapons such as Peacekeeper and Charge Rifle and Sentinel. What's really weird though is they are changing a ton of long-standing traditions within Apex Legends. For instance, the 4 to 10 times digital threat scope will no longer provide threat vision through smoke or gas, which is kind of confusing for me because at that point it's not even a digital threat. That's literally the entire point. And it probably should no longer count as a legendary item anymore either. It should just be a standard purple. It was legendary because it gave you that nice perk very similar to Bloodhound ult. They've already went ahead and changed how digis work, such as the ones that used to work on SMGs. Now they're no longer available and I believe only work on pistols and shotguns. So it seems like they're doing a huge change away from the scan meta, but they're also being a little weird about it because, well, Bangalore and Bloodhound saw huge changes, such as Bangalore's smoke launcher. All players within smoke will now have a white highlight visible to other players in smoke within 20 meters. This will not impact you if you're outside of the smoke, but I'm very confused because they basically said, hey, you know, smoke functions like this. And I did, you know, make a tweet about this, and I was being a little goofy, but I actually am serious. Apex Legends devs basically sat down and said, okay, so you know how Bangalore smoke, it acts like smoke in the sense that when in the smoke, you can't see because you know you're in the smoke. Well, let's keep it smoke, but then not make it act like smoke. Genius, now sell the Lifeline Prestige skin. By the way, we're still waiting on that Bangalore dive trail for her Prestige skin, just putting that out there if anyone from Respawn is watching, but it is fundamentally a little odd that you would make an ability that is very clear cut in what its use is and then just completely make it invaluable. Now, Bloodhound also got changed a lot, where Beast of the Hunt threat vision is no longer visible through smoke or gas, and they went ahead and changed the Raven's Blessing ult charge, and they also did a new Slight Hound reduced tactical cooldown by 50% when ultimate is active. But overall, they're making scan meta much less, especially with optics in the game as well, which is a little interesting. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have less visual clutter, but you're directly nerfing a legend without giving them any kind of new perk. You basically made Bangalore completely useless while not giving her smoke anything viable to maintain a good pick rate. And when you look at the pick rates for the legends right now, Bloodhound and Bangalore are in the top 10, but there's still Octane, Lifeline, and Pathfinder above them, and we're not seeing any nerfs to any of those legends. In fact, Lifeline's getting an entire rework coming up. Not to mention, Alter and Crypto actually got nerfed because of the Crypto EMP will now affect all players affected by the Void Passage, which was an ALGS strat, but when you look at that same pick rate, well, Alter and Crypto have very low pick rates. Instead of nerfing high-picked legends, you might want to start picking up the legends on the lower tier, like Newcastle and Seer, who is completely unused at this point. And I believe the reason why they're making so many changes is, well, we're getting a lot of new modes in. We got quads actually coming next Tuesday for the collection event, replacing duos playlist. Yes, that is correct. If you are a fan of duos, it's not coming back at all this season, sorry to say. Along with that, solos is returning on July 9th to July 22nd. And we do know that arenas is going to be returning at some point in the near future. which is going to bring its own set of problems. And the main thing I actually want to go over a little bit is that when quads drops, I guarantee you there are going to be toxic people, because you can queue up with all your friends, that are going to run Caustic, Watson, Rampart, and Catalyst, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare, boring snooze fest of everyone just camping in the end game. And so while I do applaud Respawn for making some changes to how smoke and wall hacks works and tinkering around with the digital threats, what I think needs to start happening is that Legends have specific abilities for certain game modes. It's going to require Respawn to do a lot more work, I know, but they are a billion-dollar company at this point, or at least owned by a billion-dollar company. But it makes no sense to have a quads mode where you can run 4 controller Legends just holding one of the rooms at the end game. Along with that, Arenas will bring its own set of problems, and Mixtape also struggles sometimes with control Legends kind of just dominating control mode. And so I think at some point they're going to have to go ahead and go over each legend and say, okay, well, this is how crypto will function in team deathmatch, and this is how fuse will function in quads, and make it more balanced and have them change. And it would also allow for more dynamic gameplay and us to switch things up. I think that is probably going to have to be the future that Apex Legends does, because otherwise I just don't see all these legends working in all these different modes the way that they are currently built. Let me know down below, what are you guys' thoughts on the buffs and nerfs coming to Apex Legends, and did they go too far with Bangalore? Also, don't forget to check out this channel right here where I cover more news and information on Helldivers 2, Finals, X-Defiant, and more FPS games. And until next time, everyone, keep slaying the Outlands. I'll see you out there.